Our content is made for information and entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice, nor are we financial advisors, and we'll never tell you what to do with your life or money. Please do your own research before trading or in any type of investing. YFT Network does not work for nor in part of any existing business or privately owned organizations. If you would like to promote your business with our platform, please check our website at yftnetwork.com. All right, shalom, let's get it. Let's get some technical analysis on Ethereum, man. I actually bought some Ethereum 2 days ago. It's just looking real. It looks like it has a better momentum than Bitcoin right now, especially all the rest of the top altcoins. And I was right in making that decision. I was just buying a few more. But let's look at it, at least see what's going on. Because I see something in the Fibonacci extension that's, really looking hopeful that we can get a possible breakout here next week or, in the next coming weeks, as long as we don't play around, in this section right here. But let's go and keep analyzing it. So if we look at Ethereum from the past, I always said, if you look at the Ethereum chart, this is probably one of the best charts in crypto right now because you can just see the perfect support and resistances that we hit. So if we look before the pre-bubble, all the way to 1400 back in 2018, you can see we hit twice right here on these resistances. We always going to bring this up because you always have to go back and look to see what was going on. Then after this big rise up, you can see, look, boom, we hit it right here, exactly where we topped out before. So this became support. So always remember, so when we came back down and broke down through it, we came up and tested that same resistance. So this is what we're looking for. That 300, that 370 mark, that's the most important mark right now for Ethereum. And that's what we're looking for to break right now. Now, we've been at these lows forever now. All these, to me, to be honest with you, anything below this gray rectangle, you see this gray zone, you see down at the bottom of the screen, anything below here is a good buy. Now, if you're talking about trading, you're going to have to know when to get in on the swings. But as far as us looking long-term right now, Ethereum's looking good to me. Because, look, we have this golden cross that we had, in the past 2 weeks, we had a golden cross, and we're still holding up on it. Now, what I like is, if you look at this golden cross, we're bouncing right off the 50 level. Now, if you understand the 50 level and the 50-day moving average, you can see here that we're bouncing right off of it. We're not showing any weakness. We're right in this neutral area, letting us know we're still bouncing along. A lot of people thought last week when we were penetrating down here and coming down a little bit that this was going to fall off and go right back down and have another death cross when the 50-day moving averages crosses the 20. That didn't happen. This thing stayed afloat and kept going. So if I actually draw a line here on the RSI, from the very top here, let's see it real quick, and we just go down here like that, you can see we're still forming this triangle up here. We're staying above the 50. Remember that 50-day moving average is the same as the 50 level on the RSI. So you can see here, we almost tapped the 50 here, and we almost tapped the 50 here. That's why we're around that 50 level. Now, we are penetrating up a little bit, and we want to see if we're going to break this red line that I just drew on the RSI. But if I go back to the Fibonacci extension and go to the 4-hour, this is how we draw our Fibonacci extension to begin with. So let me go back to the daily real quick. So we see that we got a bounce here, right? We came down, we tested this level here, which is exactly where this parallel channel told us it was going to test. Not saying necessarily it was guaranteed that it was going to bounce off here, but if we're looking at it and we see that we're here, we want to know where to draw this Fibonacci extension. Now, to draw that, we go to our 4-hour. If you've been paying attention to the videos, we start way from the bottom, from where that crash was. We start from the bottom. We go to the very top after the golden cross. So after you see on the 4-hour, this 50-day moving average goes across the 200-day, you want to look for the first high. So here, right quick, this is our first high after the cross. Right here, this crossed right here, but this high happened right before this cross happened, so we didn't have a cross yet. So if I'm looking at this, I'm going to go right here. This is our very first high, and then we broke down and made a swing. So we broke this 50, and we crashed back down to this 200-day. So you can see we put on a low right here. This is where we put our low in. Right there. And you can see it right here at the bottom on the RSI. So once I go from my bottom to my top, and I put this, the third point on the Fibonacci extension, I'm putting on the bottom right here to our low. You can see we've been traveling along in this range from 0 to 0.236 level. This is 23%. This is 23%. We came down. A lot of people thought we were going to come down and start going into lows right here, but it turned around. Now I'm seeing, look, we turned around. We came up here and broke this resistance here. So now I'm looking like this thing might be bullish. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good thing that I put this trade in 2 days ago. And I'm not even lying. I can show you guys my trades. But at the end of the day, you can see this thing starting to, break this exact resistance that a lot of people thought we were going to break. Now, if you actually look at this is an inverse head and shoulders. So if I bring this tool out here, and I'm not going to lie to you, I never seen this coming, but I just saw that, look, this thing looks bullish. It wasn't going down. But if you actually look at the pattern that was playing out, let's bring it right here real quick. If you actually look at this pattern, this is the inverse head and shoulders. Now look at this. We got our left shoulder, our head, right shoulder, breakout. So this is a bullish sign that, look, we could be going up even further. Now this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors, but this is a good time to buy. I feel like Ethereum, just based on all the news that's going on right now, a lot of people hollering Ethereum. A lot of big players are hollering Ethereum. And Ethereum is just one of my largest, especially, I think it's in my top 4. But I'm highly invested in Ethereum. I feel like these prices right now, anything like we said, if you look at the daily chart, anything down here, underneath this gray level is a good buy. Now, if you're buying at these tops right here, of course, it's not going to seem good right now in the short term, but in the long term, you got to look at the big picture. When we get to this next level up here, that'll be a good time to sell. My next sell point, I'm looking at around 700, 800 to sell some and then buy back if we crash back down. But you see these levels right here, man. We got to cross these levels. If we keep pumping and break the top of this parallel channel right here, this could be some good momentum to get us through, especially get to this zone up here. So we have to break these levels, especially break 259. Around 260 is our greatest level that we have to break out. So watch for this RSI, see if this RSI keeps going up, and we have to break 260. Once we break 260, I can definitely see a huge spike coming in, and that'll probably bring us to around 420. Now, right here is where will be the iffy part, because we could actually test. Remember, we have to look at these last resistances from back here and this last support right here. So we don't want to get here and then get hyped and then start buying here. If you start buying here, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose money just because these are strong resistances right here. So we literally have to break through this strong. You know what I'm saying? If we don't, we can easily tap here, come back, and then come back down and do something like this. That's something that people do not want right now, especially trading this market. This is one of the longest bearish markets I've seen. And, just keep that in mind, man. Ethereum right now is looking promising. It didn't look like it wanted to turn down, and it's starting to go back up. But let's just draw some more. You guys saw the pattern that we just drew. The inverse head and shoulders. Hold on, let me see if this thing's loading up. All right, so we deleted it. But anyways, check that out. Remember, this parallel channel is very important. We need to break 260, and just keep that in mind, all right? I'll be back with some more analysis. We're going to look at XRP. Peace.